Hi, this is Fergal Lawler from the Cranberries, and you're listening to Verbal Shenanigans.
But our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Which makes them not shenanigans at all, really. Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
So, hello everybody, hello audience. First off, I just want to get this out of the way because I just started the call with Mike and he said, "Oh, it's hat day." Yeah. Meanwhile, 90% of the time we're both wearing hats, as if that's what we had in common. But yet I looked at Mike and he had like a nice facial hair growth going on. I thought he was joining me on Team Beard. And he says, "Yeah, I have to shave. It doesn't fully grow in. I'm Native American."
Yeah.
What does that mean? First off, you're not Native American. Stop it. What are you talking about?
Well, one, my family has said we are like 1/16 or 32nd Cherokee.
This is what every family says.
Well, I gotta go with it. I ain't paying for the 23andMe, boy. Okay,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I gotta put my funds where it's worth it. Number one. Number two, as best as I could figure from the statement, I can only assume there's no bearded Native Americans out there. Like, off the top of your head, do you remember like big bearded Native Americans in history, like fighting cowboys or moving Lewis and Clark down the river or anything like that? Do you?
First off, I don't remember any Native Americans from history other than movies, which I guess you're saying they're portrayed as non-facial hair growing. But what do you remember, like cowboy duels outside of your house going on with the Native Americans?
I remember all that stuff. Yeah, that's the stuff that comes in my head. And why Native Americans can't grow beards, not really sure I can explain myself. Them fighting in my front lawn and all with cowboys, yeah, all the time. That was my growing up and all. That was my childhood, and I miss it. Every time I look outside my door here in Georgia, no cowboys and Native Americans fighting, and it just depresses me every time.
I am so frustrated by every person I know. It's like, well, they found in our family tree we're 1/700th Cherokee. I think that's just like people atoning for the sins of a.
Yeah, that's our way of saying, yeah, now I can own a house. That counts. We're in the bloodline. Now, granted, the people who are still like 100% Native American are pretty screwed. They're like in the deep mountains of like Wyoming and stuff like that. But I mean, hey, I feel good about myself.
Oh, okay, Chief, relax over there. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I don't know if I'm feeling it from your side or my side, but I feel like I am just getting on the mic in just a whirlwind world over here of like frustration and crazy things going on, and it has nothing to do with the podcast.
Well, Scott, let's start right there. And all, have you built the bunker and prepared yourself? Because I heard the election results for the mayor of New York City, and for what I understand, this is the biggest moment in the history of America. Of course, the mayor election, and it's so big. People in Kentucky were complaining they couldn't go to the polls to vote for the New York City mayor.
Yeah, well, you know how it goes. Like, people are so shocked that when a Republican president gets in, 2 years later, it starts to swing the other way, and the Democrats started getting in, and then they'll get their person in, and then 2 years after that, everyone hates that person, and the Republican thing starts to sway. People are still shocked that this is happening. Like, this is the natural. No one likes anyone for 4 years, never mind 8 years. So I don't know why we're surprised that the Democrats are now getting a couple seats after 2 years of Trump, who is an absolute buffoon. Like it's just one buffoon after the other.
Are you saying they got a chance?
Yeah, I think you 100% have a chance.
Yes.
I mean, I haven't grown sick of you yet after however many years this has
Oh
been.
my God, I am going to tear down so many damn wings of that White House when I get in there. It's not going to be fun. There ain't going to be a damn wall that I ain't punching down when I get in there, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be my campaign slogan. I have no clue what a president does, but I'm going to tear down some walls, baby.
I'm pretty sure the president has no clue what a president does either. So, like, I mean, the mayor of New York, apparently he never had a job before. He speaks really well, but like you don't even need to be qualified to do this shit anymore. Just I think you should for I don't know, start with like comptroller of Douglasville, Georgia.
Oh, I'll control Douglasville. You got it.
How are you going to control them?
I'm going to control them. Yeah. I don't know. You sound a little funny. You got a lisp over there. No, but my natural burl skills will take over this city. Don't you worry about that.
No, it's the comptroller. You're not going to control them.
No, I plan to control them. I mean, I see how it works and all. If I just yell enough and then I get like a squad behind me, that's all it takes, baby. I don't need anything else. And no, I don't need to abide by any rules. I make my own rules.
What squad is going to be behind you?
A bunch of feral dogs for what I best figure out. Like, I think that is the best thing I could do. I just show up at the polling and I just have like a bunch of feral dogs ready to attack. And I just keep my hand up and I go, you can vote for whoever you want, but come 9 p.m., if my numbers don't fit the right way, I put my hand down and there's doggy attacks throughout the city of Douglasville.
Yeah. So once again, another election day passed and your boy once again casted his vote for absolutely nobody. I did not do my civic duty again. What? And I know I'm going to get the old, you have to vote. You'll have to do this. Blah, 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 blah. And I will do my usual response. Like, I also have the right to not vote because I'm not educated enough on either side. Like I didn't just sit there and do my research on who this guy was and who this girl was and be like, oh, that's where my vote's go. I'd rather not vote until I'm actually involved in politics.
Oh, okay. Like when I become controller of Douglasville, you want to be part of my dog squad?
I would vote for, at this point, a vote for Mike's dog squad is almost as valuable to me as a vote for Mikey Sherrill or Jack Chitterell. I don't know, man. I don't know anything about politics anymore. I quit. I've said this on the podcast before. I voted both ways in my life in different things. When they railroaded Bernie the first time, and I wasn't even like the biggest Bernie guy, but I was like, all right, well, this is pretty cool. He's got like the blue collar people and whatnot. And then they were just like, nah, we're not allowing this grassroots thing. Like, no. Here's Hillary. Like, this is what you get. Shut your mouth. Take your medicine, and this is what you get. And I feel like that's kind of what you get over and over and again. And like we go back into elections, like into the deep state and all this stuff and political families, and I'm done. Scott Brennan has backed out of politics for a good 5 years now, I would say. Like I'll catch a headline, but I don't care. Tell me I'm an idiot for not voting. Tell me your vote matters more and your party's better, and you're telling me that I'm helping the cause or helping the other person's cause. I don't care. I really don't care.
Scott, every vote counts. Right. That's why a huge 12% went out to vote for these elections this year. No, that's gigantic. That is double digits, Scott. It's not one digit. No, you're like, you see the one and you're like, oh yeah, the usual 1%. And then you see the 2 next to it. And it's like, oh damn, we care about our people right now.
I think people are in love with the party that they grew up with. Hold on, let me explain this thought. Like the party that their parents said was the best party and this and that. Back when we were kids and didn't really know what any of those party things meant. And I think they've just fallen in love with that idea of belonging to a party. And I truly believe like 90% of people are just bullshitting everyone and be like, yeah, I like that guy and if you really broke it down, they wouldn't know a single thing about them other than they are the Mets or the Yankees. They are the Republicans or the Democrats. They're the Phillies or the Braves. Whatever it is, it's just laundry. It's just a symbol. I'm done.
Now, out of curiosity, when the next day occurred and you've heard the results, who did you have? An uncle or a cousin or something like that? You like before you open Facebook, you're like, I know blah blah has got like a 10-sentence post raring to go on what happened last night.
Yeah, not. I wouldn't say. I think I actually lucked out where like my immediate family is not really that bad as far as like politics. You got a couple younger cousins who are still in their 20s and 30s. They're still fighting the good fight. They're not a beaten down 40-year-old man who's like, I don't care anymore. They're still posting things, but I will say I knew like Facebook wise or Instagram wise, like of my friends or comics or who was going to go nuts, and it was like pressing the play button. You knew exactly what was coming. The same stuff. New York is gone, and we elected a Muslim man and blah, blah, blah. I just think nothing actually ever gets done. So you could put anyone up there and it's just a bunch of people fighting and like maybe a thing goes through or a thing goes through here. But it's just if 50% of people are fighting and they have to agree on things for things to happen, I don't think anything ever actually happens.
Well, I do know, like I had one cousin who basically declared, Democrat won the what was it, the governor race in Jersey? Is that what was going on?
Governor,
Democrat
mayor
won. I'm moving away, and I'm like, you've been there for 30 years. I think there's been at least about 4 or 5 that have been there. So you're really taking your sweet freaking time on this I'm moving kind of thing and all, and not factoring, there's no homes and it's very expensive out there. But this one is the one that's going to tip it over. This is the one that's going to end my life, and I can't handle it. You know how expensive my taxes are, and remember when this person was it? Yeah. You mean the Republican 20 years ago? Yeah. I would assume your taxes were cheaper 20 years ago, but yeah, it was a Republican thing.
I just urge anybody who is like stupid like me, like dumb like me, and it doesn't need to like make my political points known. If you just ignore it, your life gets a whole lot better. If you just pretend that all this doesn't exist, it's just such a better way of living. It's just a way better way of living, not paying attention to any of this.
I feel we got to double down in like a crazy way. I mean, let's rationalize this. Anything that goes like viral seems to amazingly become true. So I if we get like 10 influencers and just say as a joke, we're all voting Green Party. I have no idea who runs the Green Party. I don't know one thing about the Green Party, but just for the fun of it, let's just all vote Green Party down the list next election and see what happens. Yeah. You might actually have something right there where they'll actually go, wait. Let me actually explain what I do here kind of moments, right?
My political standpoint is doing nothing is better than supporting one of these sides. I think they're so broken so me sitting out and just being like, they're terrible, just give me a fresh take on something, and then maybe I'd be in. I can't do it anymore, Mike. I can't do it. You know what I'm dealing with right now? More importantly than any of this political shit.
What's going on, Scotty?
Today, my son. Well, let's try this real quick, Mike. All right. Simon says, touch your nose. Simon says, touch your ears. Touch your nose. Touch your chin. Touch your nose. Simon says, touch your nose. Okay, so Mike, you just passed the game, right?
Another victory for Burlew. Yes.
I can't lose.
So cop trolling.
I can't lose at any shenanigans games. I'm killing. I guess he's learning that game in school and whatnot. And he was like, Dad, Simon says touch your nose. I'm like, touch your nose. And I'm like, touch your ear. And then he's like, you're out. I'm like, no, I'm not out. You didn't say, you said Simon says. You have to not say Simon says. And he was confused and he was starting to get upset. And then I was looking at him. I'm like, all right, let me explain the game to you. I'll be Simon. Mm-hmm. I was like, shit, Simon says touch your nose. Simon says touch your ears. Trying to make it very obvious. And then I'm like, all right, Simon says touch your, and then I was like, touch your nose. And I like motioned to my nose and he touched his nose. I'm like, you're out. Apparently that just sent him over the edge. And that was, no, I'm not out. I lose at school every day. All the kids make fun of me. Like and then I'm like, uh-oh, did I open up some like was I not sensitive enough here as a parent? Like, uh-oh, like was I supposed to just let him win over and over again? It's like, and he's like, I know he's overtired, but he's going to bed with like tears in his eyes over Simon said, and he's crying in my face, and I'm like I'm like, buddy, Simon says like, touch your nose, you put your nose, and if he doesn't, no, and he's like, okay, and then I was like, let's try it one more time, and then I was like, oh, you're out. He's like, oh, I'm not out, and he's like sobbing to bed, where I had to bring my wife in to come calm him down. That's when
of course, because you're screwing up as a parent and all, trying to dictate to him anything Simon says you better do right away. I mean, that's the stuff you got to wait till you're 25 and you got a regular job to worry about, Scott. I hope and pray you have to go to school because they say your kid beat the living crap out of Simon McKenzie just because they had flashbacks to something. Simon's like, hey, can you hand me that pencil? He's like, oh, I'm not going to do what you asked me to do, and just punches him in the face.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's what I'm dealing with. And on top of that, Mike, it's a nice, cool, I think it's about 46 degrees right now in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, Scott Brennan has no heat tonight as he's doing the podcast.
What?
So last year, a year and a half ago, I went to a thing where we had no heat for like a week, and I put a brand new system in. Brand new system.
Top of the line.
Cost me a lot of money, like way more money than I am comfortable with.
We're talking 3 digits, people.
Yeah,
there's a decimal at the end.
It cost me $476 to put this thing. No, like a lot of money. Probably the biggest project we've done, on the house, and it was really stressful. And here we are a year and a half later. I get up this morning, no heat. I call the guy, they come, they're like, yeah, it's under warranty, but we have to order a part and it could take a couple days to come in. I'm like, I got 2 young children here. It was like 30 something this morning. And then I have my dog who is we've talked off the air, but my dog's been going through a lot. He's an older gentleman. Okay. And, he's had this thing in the hematoma in his ear and getting out of his bandages. And I was in the vet like 6 nights out of like 10 days, I think it was. And he keeps getting out. And eventually I just said, screw it. It's not bothering him. I'm just going to leave it alone. And see how he does. And if we have to go to the vet, we'll go to the vet. And he's been doing better. But yet, this dog, he's getting older and has a lot of pee accidents, just like you, Mike. Just like you, I bring you over.
Oh, they're not accidents. I go where I want. Thank you. This is my house. I can mark anything in this place.
So a ton of pees. So I buy these things called belly bands. They're supposed to be kind of like diapers for dogs, but like they're absorbent. And I'm like, I talked to the vet and they were like, yeah, you could definitely use them. They're like, I'm like, can I use them during the day? Because, we're working and whatnot. I'm not going to use them at night because we're home and stuff like that. Yeah. This dog so he's going through this ear thing. He got out of his bandage like 15 times, went to the vet, put the belly band on, strap it up. It's like a Velcro thing. The first time I come home, it's still on him, no pee. And I'm like, yes, we finally solved this like pee thing. Because if you're cleaning up peas every time you come back into the house, pretty frustrating. Pretty frustrating experience. It's like paper towels and then wiping it down with Lysol and all this other stuff. So I come back to the house. The next time, the belly band is just on the floor, folded back up with the Velcro on it, and the dog sitting there, walking to the living room, walking to the kitchen, pee on the kitchen floor. I'm like, all right, I did strap it in the right way or tight enough. Literally last night, put it on him, go to the store to go grocery shopping, come back, belly band off the dog, fold it up again, pee on the dining room floor, pee on the kitchen floor. Okay.
Do you feel like if you bought a Nada chair that it would connect to his belly a little better in that situation? Do you feel that maybe Velcro isn't good enough? You need to get straps for that strap on.
Dude, at this point, I'm thinking like duct tape and like airplane glue. Like today, I had to go to practice, belly band on, come back. It's on the floor, pee on the floor. Like, I do not know. I do not understand how this dog is. I don't know if he's doing some kind of breathing technique that's like blowing the Velcro apart. But yet every time I come in, it's like the Velcro is on it and it's like an oval. I'm like, how did this dog get out of this thing? And this dog has been notorious for like figuring out how to get out of bandages, jump over gates that I used to put him in when he was a puppy. Like he's kind of like you. He's like a idiot savant. Like he's so stupid at some points, but yet can do things really well for some reason.
I mean, I will admit, I feel like I could get out of a diaper if you put it on me. I gotta be honest with you, Scott.
You got that one.
I got that kind of quality right there. Did you think about calling your vet and asking him what you can do because your dog is outsmarting you?
No, because I don't want the embarrassment, man. They're gonna be
because maybe the vet could help. If you just call up and be like, hey, I just want you to know that I'm a teacher. I educate little children. It is my brain that is used to customly push these kids out into the world with expertise, knowledge on stuff. But my dog is making me look stupid. Can you please help me?
Now, you have had, you recently had a dog pass away. Did you have any of these issues as the dog got older with like peeing on the floor and stuff like that, and not being able to hold it? Or...
Not really. Like Callie would have an accident here or there. I think one night we were recording and then she kind of went behind me and I had to clean it up during one episode. Like she was having the runs for her last like 3 months of her life. But what was happening was she could still control everything there. So like, I would say the one difference is in the past, it'd be like, all right, if we're out, we know the dogs are good for like 8 hours. Maybe we cut it to 5 to 6 considering Callie, but generally I did not come back to stuff. Sadly, like the last day is when I kind of knew this is over and it kind of because now on top of like I took her out and after she pooped, she literally like collapsed to the ground with no energy. We brought her to the couch and like the wife didn't want to tell me during the time because I was getting emotional. She peed on the couch, but that's, I mean, for lack of, I guess it's quote unquote good to say she didn't really have accidents before we said goodbye to her.
Yeah, it's getting bad now. He's like, he'll have accidents like right next to me, like while we're right by the door. Because like we, our yard is fenced in, so I just let him out, let him in, let him out, let him in. And he'll just like just pee next to him, like, come on, man. Like it's just a very people living with like older dogs, I'm sure can sympathize, but it's like it's tough, man. It's very tough. It's very demanding.
Yeah, it's hard to get through, and sadly, as we were like talking about politics and we moved to dogs, I thought about to our guests. If you recall, was it a year ago, 2 years ago, Parker the Snow Dog, the mayor of Georgetown, 8 months ago. Rest in peace, buddy.
Oh, come on, man.
I was like looking up, figuring maybe they had a cute little like Oh, we voted Parker in again. I was ready for that Google search there, and then I'm just like, ah, man.
This is such a depressing episode right now.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Like Parker
and
the
and
snow
our guest
dog
kind of has a sad story too.
was it was it an assassination? Was Parker killed?
Oh my God. It was the Russian, Scott. Putin finally got to old Parker, man.
If you don't know,
He's like,
Mike,
the Kremlin will get Georgetown, Colorado.
if you don't know what Mike is talking about, we interviewed technically a dog, but he won the mayor of a town in Denver, not Denver, Colorado, somewhere out in Colorado,
Georgetown, Colorado.
in Georgetown, Colorado, and the dog became the mayor of the town. It was a really fun, silly interview. We've been following him around. He was in Nuggets games. Damn, man. Well, I don't even know. What's going to be ironic is after we get to our guest, the topic I have tonight is also very depressing. So let's just drive it deep down.
Do you want me to say something fun and nice?
Yes.
I know, I got it.
Yeah.
No. I fed a giraffe. How about that?
You fed a giraffe.
I fed a giraffe. Yeah.
My son did that like a year ago. Okay, I'm curious about.
I did it better.
Yeah. Okay. What did you do?
I can show. But the in-laws came down. Izzy's dad and stepmom came down, and we were going to show him.
Izzy was like, "Please take my husband out. Go let him feed a giraffe."
I went up to my 78-year-old father-in-law. Can we feed the giraffes? Can we feed the giraffes? Can we feed the giraffes?
Yeah.
But they came down. They always come down for a weekend to hang out with us. One little interesting thing, like we weren't sure where to take them. We took them into Carrollton to listen to a singer that we know at a brewery, and we're like talking about stuff for Saturday. And I'm like going over stuff, and I'm like, and Columbus, Georgia, we can go there. They got like a ton of like really interesting museums or whatever. And her dad's just like, no, not a museum guy. No.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, well, you're old. You're supposed to like that stuff. I think it's just by rule. If you're an older gentleman, you got to be excited about a museum, I thought.
That is true. Like I wouldn't call myself a museum guy either, but if it was like a very like niche thing, I guess I would go to a museum. But I'm wondering if at some point I'm gonna be like, oh man, I got a day off today. I really want to go to a museum.
I want to see a painting so bad and all. I need to get my prostate checked and look at art. But,
they should put them at the same place, While
that'd be great and all. A finger up my butt looking at some pictures. I'd be down with that.
While you're looking at this beautiful painting, just relax, and boom.
That'd be so rewarding and all. Like different nurses come in with different pictures. It's like, oh, this is beautiful. It sucks that I have cancer, but this is so relaxing.
Yeah.
But in any case, like we figured out Sunday we're going to the Atlanta Zoo. So we took them there, and it's a nice sized zoo. I think it's a perfect. We were there for just under 3 hours to walk around. Nobody got tired walking around. Saw a bunch of different animals or whatever. Right. But in the initial part, we get to like the African side with the meerkats and the elephants and the giraffes. And I see this like velvet rope line by the giraffes. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Is there a giraffe show? Do they do tricks or whatever? And I go over and it's like $4 you can feed a giraffe. And I just beeline. I'm like, I will leave anybody there. I don't care if you don't want to do it. I'm feeding me a giraffe today.
Yeah. I mean, this guy pays, he drives a half hour to a coffee shop just to pet a cow and then has to buy a coffee. So this is right in line with what you do.
To be fair, there are sheep and goats there too. Don't discriminate the other farm animals when I drink my coffee, okay?
No, don't tell me to not discriminate.
I will tell you not to discriminate.
You discriminate pretty hard.
All right, you know what? you don't get a happy hat day. You hear me? Take that thing off.
You were so fixated on the Mr. Cow. The other animals were bullshit to you. You love the cow the most.
You can enjoy a primary animal, but still appreciate the second tier's worth of farm animals.
Just that term, Mr. Mr. Politics over there. The primary animal. What is he better because he's so big and strong?
It's just healthy. Like the mafia. There's a Don to the farm, and then there's the workers under there. I appreciate the workers, the sheeps and the goats.
No, you didn't.
The farm.
No, you didn't. You gave them little crumbles of food, and Mr. Cow was the biggest thing you.
Now, Mr. Cow was right in front of me, and I'm like, "How you going?" And I got the most pets with it. There's so much abundance of goats and sheep there. I can't have a primary preferred goat and sheep, but there is one big Mr. Cow.
This is why you should go into politics. The way you're spinning this story, the way you're lying to people, but you just spun it so well that you're like, I treat everybody equally. I appreciate the chickens. I appreciate the goats and whatnot. But we all know everyone's all about just feeding Mr. Cow, aka big government.
Hey, I want to tell you something. Now the pigs are in a separate pen, so they don't go up to the primary gate. And I make sure to go out of my way to chuck a couple biscuits into that second tier. I get my arm ready and I chuck it to them to ensure that they understand I appreciate all of them.
Oh yeah, you're just doing government handouts to the pigs down in the other.
Yeah, that's my SNAP program. I go to the farm, I get biscuits, and then I go out and I say, who doesn't have food stamps? And I start feeding them right in their mouth. That's what I do in the Burlew government when I'm a controller of Douglasville.
All right, back to the giraffe.
Yeah, we're going on a tangent here, and we're not talking about giraffes here, but I go up there, I'm like, I would like to feed a giraffe. And they're like, well, I mean, number one, we're closing in a couple minutes.
Number two, you're almost 50, sir.
No. They said that was their silent part. But the number two, they're like, well, you can only feed them when they come up. We don't lure them over and shove food in their mouth. So if a giraffe comes over in the next couple minutes, you can feed them. So me and my wife get out of line. We're just walking back. Oh, shucks, don't get to be a giraffe. I'm not sure if we'll be here long enough when it reopens to go back.
I hope
whatever.
You were crying like my son during Simon Says.
No.
I had a bad day. People make fun of me. I didn't feed the giraffe, man.
No. Because this is my world, baby. And a giraffe started walking up, and Burlew says, I'm feeding that damn giraffe. And it just panned out and all. For $4, I got 2 leaves of lettuce to feed that giraffe, and it was immaculate. It came up, it stuck out its tongue, put the leaf on his tongue, he swallowed it whole, and I said, I did something today.
I wish, the giraffe just had a moment and just bit your dick off in that moment. I just wish he freaked out and
he didn't stretch down that long. No.
My son did the same thing. Literally last year on a class trip to the zoo, he got a couple leaves of lettuce and fed the giraffe.
How much you have to pay?
I think it was $5, maybe $5.
Inflation's going down. It took me 4. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
What was your feeding technique? Were you did you just try to hand it to him? Did you try to get your palm in it? Did you put it in the back of your pants and see what happened?
I was very dainty. I held the end of the leaf. And I go, come here, Mr. Giraffe. And the tongue stuck out, and I gently placed it on its tongue, and it enjoyed it immensely. The wife got to feed it as well. We got pictures and videos, and it's a wonderful time down here for the Burlew household. And on top of it, this weekend, I'm going to a brewery to get pictures of my dogs, and they're going to put my dog's pictures on a beer can.
How are you just throwing all this when we're trying to get to our guest here? I fed it.
Well, I just sat back and I said, this this podcast ain't going in the right direction. And let's go in the Burlew direction. There's north, south, east, west, and there's Burlew, and that's the only direction you should go.
I don't understand. I don't understand. Like you're bragging about being like people thinking you're a special ed adult feeding the giraffe, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, my dogs are on beer cans. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get to our guest over here.
You want to talk about the dead dog again, or would that be a better leeway into
what dead dog?
The mare dog, Parker the snow dog.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my dog. I was like, that's
I'm
very
not
rude.
that cruel. Come on now. You know I love Obi. That's my boy. Yeah,
save your damn beer can story because we got to get to our guest here. We'll get to your beer can story afterwards. But how do we segue out of this one?
Go for it, Scott. You're
all right.
host.
I got this. We have a man coming on. Mike, give us the for the second time on the show. How would your hand be? Ew, he's like flicking his middle finger with his ring finger. It's disgusting. But for
makes you work for it. Makes you want to go to 3.
In my opinion, I even said it during the interview. There's not many bands that have ever sounded like this. I don't really think there is a band since that has sounded like this. Came out in the 90s. You know them from their songs Zombie and Ode to My Family and all the great songs. But for the second time, we have Fergal Lawler, the drummer of the Cranberries, coming on the show. So without further ado, here's Fergal.
Well, hey, how's it going?
What's going on, Fergal? How are you?
How are you?
Welcome
Good to
back.
see you again. Thanks
awesome
a million.
to see you again. First off, thanks for joining us again. I know it's been a couple years, and I guess I want to start this kind of in the present, as you know, you're kind of coming on along with the re-release of the pressing of the Unplugged of the Cranberries. I'm curious, have you like watched that footage in decades, like, and kind of tell us about the process of that whole night of the Unplugged?
Yeah, I hadn't watched it for a while until this came up about the fact of getting it released on vinyl, you know. So I went back and had a look, and it was like, wow, geez, you know, all the memories just came floating back. I remember that day. I think it was the morning we did it actually in Brooklyn, and yeah, it wasn't something we were worried about because we had, since the very beginning, actually, we had always done acoustic sessions in radio stations and record stores and things like that, you know. So we'd bring along acoustic guitars, Mike would bring his acoustic bass, and I had like some bongos and shakers and tambourines and that kind of thing. So it wasn't something we were, you know, freaking out going, oh, how are we going to do the songs acoustically? The only one I think was Zombie, obviously, because it's such a big rock guitar driven song that we were kind of concerned how that would translate acoustically. But we had done some shows. We did a TV show in the UK called Jules Holland's a music show. It's still running now. It's a great show. And we had worked with the electric strings on that. And also we did a gig in the Royal Albert Hall in London a few months previously. And they were, we did some acoustic songs with the string quartet as well. So, you know, we had worked with them before, and, you know, just did a quick rehearsal, I think, in New York beforehand, and it all went smoothly. I think having the strings for Zombie helped a lot, you know.
Was there any like I don't know in time when this happened, but like, was there any pressure with like how great Nirvana's Unplugged was and how great Alice in Chains was? And
no, we were just delighted to be asked, and you know, we had seen some of the previous ones. It was like, oh my God, this is such an honor to be asked to do this. You know, we weren't kind of going, oh my God, theirs was so good, ours has to be. You know, we weren't thinking like that at all. We were just going to go, you know, do the best we can, and you know.
Yeah, it's funny because that like Unplugged acoustic thing went away for a while, and now we're seeing like NPR's Tiny Desk, like kind of that concept almost. But it's brilliant, and people love it. Like Do you think if the Cranberries were still together, that would have been something you guys would have done?
We did that NPR thing.
Oh, you did?
We did, yeah. We did a Tiny Desk session.
Oh, that's awesome. I've never seen it. Now I know what I'm watching after this. Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah, it's great for fans to see bands, they like in that setting or in a different setting to like a live concert or whatever. I don't know. It's more intimate. It's just a different vibe completely.
Yep.
Where are you currently at in the music world? I know you did your debut album in 2022. You've done some producing. Are you still like outgoing with your current music? Are you looking to produce? Are you looking for bands? Where are you at today?
I actually, like two days ago, I just finished a 2-year project working on doing music, composing music for a documentary about Don Bluth, the animator. He used to work with Disney, and then he went out on his own.
Oh yeah.
So it's his life story, and that's I just finished that after like fucking 6 weeks of working 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week, and my head was fried. But I'm just delighted to have done it now. It's a fantastic project, and it's actually going to be released this month at the SCAD Festival, in Savannah, Georgia. So I'm going to go out for that. Yeah, I've never been to Savannah before, so it's a
beautiful city.
Yeah. It's always been on my list of places to go.
Yeah, it's well worth the visit.
If you want the event ruined, Mike could join you. He's only a couple hours away from you.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, I can go there. I'll be bragging. Oh, yeah, I know the Cranberries and all. We go way back. And
we go way back.
Yeah, like what, 2 years ago, Scott? Something.
If like when you see something like the Unplugged, do you get like how does it make you feel? Like a sadness? Is it a happy feeling as you watch that? Like what are the thoughts that go through your head when you?
It's conflicting. That? Yeah, it is. I mean, glad and happy that we achieved so much as a band, I suppose, and obviously sad then when I see Dolores and hear her speaking, between songs and everything like that. It's that feeling of loss. I don't think it'll ever go away. It's just something that's always there, and you have to learn to live with it. It's a conflict. It's kind of both at the same time, if you can understand that.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I was talking with my brother. We were driving to a party or whatever, and like Cranberries came on, and we were talking. He works in the music, and we were both talking like, there really is. Like people come close, but there's no bands that really sound like the Cranberries, and I don't know if it's a combination of you guys musically, but also just Dolores's voice as far as how unique it was. But there really is no other band where you're like they sound just like the Cranberries. Like I don't see too many people even trying to sound like the Cranberries.
Yeah, it was a combination of everything, but on top of that, it's like Dolores's unique voice that, I remember her saying, she's played piano since she was a kid. She played the church organ or whatever, and then went to piano lessons. And her piano teacher said, maybe you should get some vocal lessons. And she said she went once and once only because the vocal teacher was like, no, you can't do that. You can't do this. And she was there like, but it's my voice. I want to express how I feel. And, even if I'm doing it technically incorrectly, I still, that's how I get my sound. So I'm not going to change that. So I think fair dues to her for that, because I mean, she stood her ground and wanted to express exactly how she felt. And
yeah, I mean, that's an amazing thing nowadays. I mean, when we have people teaching and it's like, oh, be different and go out of the rounds, but then like somebody comes up with something different. It's like, no, nobody's doing that. Why are you doing that like that? No, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's scary actually how many pop singers sound the same, because my kids be playing stuff and I'm like, oh, is that blah? And they'll go, oh no, this is the other singer, and but it sounds the exact same as this person. It's as if they all sound like clones of each other.
So we're just on just a couple weeks ago, the 30th anniversary of No Need to Argue's 30th anniversary. I was listening to a few interviews. I found it kind of amazing. Can you talk about, you guys going skiing and Dolores tearing her ACL?
So we did the first maybe 4 or 5 weeks of the album. We did it out in Oxford in the Manor studio where Mike Oldfield did Tubular Bells. This beautiful manor house, and there was a recording studio attached to it. It was an incredible place out in the middle of nowhere in the countryside in Oxford. And Stephen Street is a big skier still. He still skis now, and he's like 60 odd. And he was saying, it'd be great if we went skiing, it'd be a real bonding thing. We could go skiing and, relax. And just, we were like, yeah, of course, let's go. So day 2, Dolores being the fearless lunatic she always has been, we went to lessons the first day and was like, this is how you stop. This is how you turn. And we were getting the swing of it. And then day 2, she was there, I'm fine. I'm off. And off she went down this fucking green slope, which is kind of above beginners, flying down along the slope. And she was like, oh, trees, what do I do? And she just fell on the ground like this and then fucking twisted around and around. And as this was happening, Stephen and Noel were going over in the chairlift looking down at her and witnessed the whole thing. And Steve went pale and freaked out and was like, oh, Jesus Christ, what am I going to do? So he got off the lift, skied down to where she was. They called paramedics or whatever, and she was actually airlifted to a hospital from there. Oh, wow. So it was some serious damage, yeah. And then she was in hospital in France for a couple of weeks, and then they moved her to the UK, to London, and did the operation. And she was in recovery for 4 or 5 weeks, maybe. Definitely a few weeks in the hospital anyway, in London as well. Because I remember visiting her when she was in hospital and she had her acoustic guitar and she said, I have an idea for a new song, listen to this. So myself and my wife were sitting down at the bottom of her bed and she played No Need to Argue. It's the first time I've ever heard it. She played on an acoustic guitar.
Really?
And then that was recorded like a month or so later.
Is it interesting to you that your songs are still popping up now, like through a whole new generation? They're getting TikTok remixes, and you see people singing your song. And is that like a great feeling, or is it a little bit bittersweet? Like, I wish we could act on this, or I wish Dolores can see this. Yeah,
it's a great feeling. Yeah. It really is. It's an honor. It's hard to believe that those songs have lasted this long and that a new generation are discovering them. It's fantastic. I mean, it's a great legacy to have that our songs have lasted this long, and it's it is what it is. You have to accept reality and kind of say, look, there's many bands that have been around for 5 or 10 years and they're forgotten about. So, I mean, for us to be here 30 years later talking about Cranberries songs, it's an honor. It's incredible.
What about like you, like when you're scoring something or even just making new music and, you think back to all the sounds and layers and your recording techniques 30 years ago, are you a guy who sticks to what they know, or are you integrating a lot of the new technology too as you record?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. I use the computer obviously to record stuff, but I'm always trying to make it sound older or something, or sound more sound as natural as possible, really, unless something needs to be really synthy or something like that. But yeah, I try and capture the mood. It's all about mood, emotion, how you're feeling at a certain time and what you want to express, and how do you get that feeling across. I always kind of close my eyes and imagine I'm the listener, not the one who's making the music. And if I was listening to this for the first time, how would it make me feel? So yeah, it's hard to kind of separate the two, but you need to kind of take a step back and imagine you're the listener.
When you were all touring, what was your favorite band to tour with? And what was maybe a band, I wouldn't say you disliked, but had a hard time, your music with their crowd kind of moment?
We always got on well with everyone. We just, treated touring like a big adventure and just go off and explore the world and get to play gigs. And yeah, we've all gotten on with all the bands we toured with, to be honest. I was blown away by they were the first band we opened up for in the US, and I was a big fan. So to see them play live every night was incredible. Grant Lee Buffalo opened up for us on one tour, and I watched them every single night. They were fantastic. A three-piece band, but just such power. The brilliant band. Who else? Duran Duran. That was entertaining because, we grew up in the 80s, and to see them play live every night, they were really nice and everything, but more of a pop band, but still a really good band for what they were, but Christ, yeah, we did about 2 weeks with the Rolling Stones. That was mind-blowing to see the actual size of the whole production. There was trucks, like hundreds of trucks. It was like a village moving from one city to the next. It was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. And they were really, really nice to us.
Yeah. And they're still doing that all these years later.
That was over 20 years ago, and we were like, geez, they're getting on a bit now, aren't they? They're still at it. And everyone else is left by the wayside as the Stones conquer the world.
Yeah, it's truly unbelievable. I mean, Mick still looks like he can go another 10 years.
Yeah, totally.
As well. Now, is there what's the relationship like with you and the band now? And do you guys have do you still have unreleased stuff that you guys have and want to put out or want to keep for yourselves? But what's the vibe with the band members now?
Yeah, we see each other from time to time, obviously, because there's reissues and stuff like that we need to discuss and kind of review. Unreleased material, there's not much I know of. There's some bits. We were thinking about releasing the Roses album again and doing a proper cover and doing some remastering and that for it, because there's some great songs in that album. We were kind of in between record labels at the time, and we went with this label who didn't really do much outside the UK, and never really kind of promoted it properly. So we'd like to give it another shot and try and release it properly so people get to hear it, because there's some amazing songs in that album, and it's something we're really proud of.
No, do you guys ever get together and jam a little bit in a studio? No.
The Cranberries was 4 people, and once Dolores passed, it would never be the same. So we all do our own thing.
Gotcha.
What does your music room look like, out of curiosity? Are you still just hanging on playing drums? Are you trying different instruments? Are you? Do
you want to have a look?
Let's take a look.
Okay. So I have a wall of synthesizers. I have some guitars out in the other room as well. Some modern beat making stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's the kind of computery sound listening part. But I have another room in there with the drums, because my daughter plays drums now as well, and so she actually plays more than me. But occasionally I get behind the kit and just give a good lash. It's a nice workout. It's a nice to still be able to play. Yeah. And but I mostly spend my time scoring documentaries and short films and things like that.
Now, does your daughter see you as the cool drummer dad, or when you're giving tips, or she's just will you just let me play?
No, she sees me as the cool drummer dad, and I try not to go, hey, try it this way. I kind of say, work away, do your own thing. If you need me, I'm here. Ask me for tips or whatever. And occasionally she'll come in and go, is there a way to do this maybe easier? And, but I try to let her off, and, because you have to discover it yourself.
I have a completely unrelated music question. Here over in America, our own unique presidential situation. But now we have Conor McGregor over here telling us that he's going to be the president of Ireland. Is he viewed as just a total buffoon over there, or is he still beloved?
Yeah. Totally. Jeez, I think he got hit in the head too many times. He hasn't. I remember about 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was standing outside going, "I'm going to be president," blah blah blah, and making this big speech. And then in the news the next day, it was like, well, he hasn't kind of followed the basic steps you need to submit for your presidency. You need A, B, C, D, and he has none of these.
Well, see, because in America, we get worried because we had a guy say, I'm going to be president, and everyone said, no way. And now we're on our second run of him.
No,
So.
I think we're safe.
Yeah. Now,
from Connor.
Now, more importantly, for an Irish person, is whiskey looked at as a good product or not?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Irish whiskey.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Connor's whiskey. I don't like that.
Oh, his whiskey. Sorry, Jesus,
yes.
no.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not talking about whiskey in general. That would have been the dumbest question
No, I'm talking about
in the
whiskey
history
in
of the
general.
planet
No,
if
his
Irish
whiskey,
people like whiskey.
I've never seen it on a shelf over here. I think it's for the foreign market.
That's the best thing that we misinterpret the question. Do Irish people like whiskey?
Weirdly enough, no. We're gin people down here in Ireland.
It's all a myth. So what is like we talked a little bit about the pressing of the Unplugged, but what's on the horizon for you as far as either Cranberry stuff or just personal stuff that fans might be interested in that's coming out?
Stephen Street just remixed the first album, Everybody Else, because we felt that there was Atmos mixes done of that and they weren't quite right. So we asked Steve to go into the studio and just kind of tweak it a bit and do some new mixes so that, when you listen to the Atmos, everything is going to sound a lot better than the mixes that were up there. We just weren't happy with them and kind of felt that needed to be done right. So he went back in and remixed that whole album. So that was fascinating hearing the mixes coming. He was sending mixes every few days. You'd send, and you'd have a listen to it and go, oh my God. And it just takes you right back to that period of time. It's incredible how a song can do that. I find it's like looking through a photo album. It just takes you back to that time. As far as other stuff that's coming up, there's nothing on the horizon apart from that. For now.
And what about the film you just scored? Is that coming out soon, or is it?
Yeah, it's coming out on the 25th of this month. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
It's actually a US company from New York, Copperpot Pictures, who did the production. They were two guys who are just absolutely fantastic, really, really nice guys, and they've done some great work. And it was a pleasure to work with them on that. I can't wait to see it.
You guys had so many amazing songs and so many countless things. I'm kind of curious, what is like the most underrated or song that you'd love to play that like nobody like really brings up on an interview or comes up to you is like, oh, I really love this one, something that you really enjoyed to play? Yeah,
it's for me, it's more the songs that weren't singles, but I'm like that with other bands as well. Bands that I'm a fan of. The single kind of introduces you to the band, then you listen to the album and discover all these little gems inside, and that's the way I am with Cranberry stuff as well. Like the softer songs, like Everything I Said, Disappointment, 21. Those really, I don't know, where everything has space and air. I love listening to those. Playing live, it was different. I really enjoyed the rockers more, I suppose, because you get a chance to just give it socks.
Yeah. Fergal, I want to thank you so much for your time, man. I've been a lifelong fan of the Cranberries, as I'm sure many people tell you this and whatnot. So your music has kind of been a soundtrack for a long time. Would love to have you on down the line when you have your next project coming on. My last question for you is the one about Dolores. What people know her as a singer, they know her personality in front of the camera, interviews, things like that. But what's something that fans might not know about her, behind the scenes or what she's like?
Yeah, she had a great sense of humor, and maybe that didn't translate sometimes, but she was she was always cracking jokes, and she did a great kind of Irish mammy accent, like a country mammy kind of accent that she would like, bigara, bigara, one of those kind of, what are you doing over there now? That kind of way. And she would crack us up, like doing these mad accents and just taking the piss. And yeah, just a funny side that maybe people didn't see because the songs were very serious,
Right.
So when you're in that mode, you're in a different frame of mind. But when you're relaxed and photo shoots and stuff, we'd be just laughing because photo shoots are so boring. You're standing around waiting for people to get ready, and so we just make each other laugh and try and make the time go faster.
I love it.
Final question for me. Has anybody dared say to you, I really preferred it when you guys were Cranberry saw us?
No. Definitely not.
Short, simple, to the point. Yep.
Fergal,
Conor McGregor maybe said it once.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Hopefully you can, when Conor's president, we can talk about that in a couple of years. But more importantly, we'd love to have you down the line, and stay safe out there. And thanks so much, man.
Thanks a million. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.
Take care.
Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye-bye. Poor Fergal Lawler has to be sandwiched between our nonsense. Like, we should probably put the guests in the front of the episode so everyone's like, we'll never listen to these guys again.
We would have the #1 podcast and nobody would even know we talk on it.
Yeah.
Like, don't even put our voices out there with the questions. Just use like an AI voice to give the questions and they answer it out. And then everybody will shut down after a half an hour and they're like, oh, I didn't know you talked about giraffe feedings.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because like I've had many moments in my life where I've gone through like big Cranberry stages. Like I remember with my ex-wife.
Urinary tract disease.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But with my ex-wife, I remember specifically she had a camper in the Poconos. Her family had one. And I remember like, she was like being a drunk, disgusting mess like she always was. And I remember like sitting by fires and just like playing Cranberries albums and like chilling out and allowing me to like calm down, wander and stuff like that. And I'm like, even like years ago or a couple of years ago, I just like put the Cranberries on. I still don't think there's a band that really sounds like the Cranberries.
No, I think they literally are a one for one, as kind of discussed, where the band's like, we're not looking ever to like come back, get another voice. I don't know how you can bring somebody in and even somewhat do it. And as I discussed before with Fergal, with like Linkin Park, going like totally different beats with a female lead to kind of do their band and continue that. I don't even foresee how you can even get like somebody who would naturally be a good voice, but at the same time let people sit back and go, yeah, that's the Cranberries,
And it would be like someone pretending to have this Irish accent that comes out through American rock. Like, there's no recreating that. There really isn't. No,
and like it's said, like with the Linkin Park thing, I can't fathom them. Like, even if they did like new albums and they created their own voice, I couldn't foresee any of them trying to do a Linger, trying to do a Zombie with that new voice and be like, oh yeah, that's just as good. Can't be done.
Yeah, really, really awesome interview. I love having that dude on. I'd love to have him on again. But I guess now we segue back
to Burlew stories. Yeah,
back to you getting your dogs on a beer can. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, the story is there is a brewery. I took you there, the Schoolhouse Brewery in Marietta.
Yep.
And it's literally like a 2-minute drive from my work. It's amazing how close I am to there. but I'm part of the rewards program, and they're having a special. Basically,
is that like a Make-A-Wish thing? Like,
no.
It was a special guy that loves to come to my brewery. Yeah, sure. We'll put your dogs on a beer can, sir. No,
we don't have giraffes here. No, we can't feed them.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
But they're having a program with a lot of people having issues now. They're basically, you pay $30 and they'll do a shoot for your dogs. And
they shoot your dogs?
No, a photo.
That's
shoot.
Insane. You pay $30 just to shoot your dogs?
Well, the whole putting dogs down is very expensive at the vet. So, and we have alternatives. And
so you go to the brewery, you bring your dog.
You just hold a beer up. I'll miss you, buddy.
Yeah. Can I get a stout and put this dog down? Put it on my tab.
But they're going to do a photo shoot, and a part of it is that they put all the photos. I don't know if it's like all the dogs' photos go onto the beer can itself, or you get an individualized one. But we're going to go and do that and bring Vader and Leia there, and I'm going to get the package where I get like a case of the beer and a poster, and I forget what the third item is, but
is it going to be a naughty photo shoot or like a regular one?
No. I mean, Vader's got his balls cut off, so it's not going to be that naughty if he shows anything. And Leia's my cute little baby. She can't go in the poll. I can't allow that.
Right.
She's my sweetheart, and no, I'm not going to do her voice going on the poll. Okay.
You like that? Yeah, you like that.
Big booty club. That's my Leia voice. If any of you are new to the podcast,
yeah, I feel like we lost it a little bit tonight, but we're doing okay.
Well, you got one more story, so yeah. I mean,
I don't have a story.
I think that's the builder. No, we put the nice little dollar store stuff out here, but you got the premium coming right now.
Well, we had Fergal, which is awesome, but now we'll try to round this episode out. My wife and I were talking as far as like we have family now and whatnot. I started to suggest that I never really thought about it, but we started talking about like college planning or whatever, saving money and whatnot. I never really thought about like having a will, I assumed you would think that like if I had a will, you would probably get everything I own.
I'm not even caring about the paperwork, and on the day you're dead and all, and just coming with a shotgun, say, "Get out of my place."
Yeah,
and then I'll be like, "Oh crap, this is freezing. You can keep it."
Yeah, it's so cold.
Yeah. Damn you, Scott!
got him.
You got me with that will and no heat.
So I was like saying, like, yeah, it's probably a good idea we get ourselves a will, like, God forbid anything happens to you or me, and all our ducks in a row, and maybe start talking. We were having the like financial talk that families do. But I'm curious, like, Mike, do you like have a will at all? Like, have you even thought about that yet, or anything like that?
We are getting a will. Actually, as funny as it sounds,
he's Will the giraffe. He's so cute. He's coming to our house.
You want another piece of lettuce? Yes, you do. Nobody doesn't like me, right, Will? Yeah. But my dad and mom, they basically updated their will and did certain things. But a part of the will is you will not get your share of the inheritance unless you have a will. And my dad kind of pushed this on the fact that he brought up, like, there's been family members that like passed away, and there wasn't they had like a girlfriend or whatever, but even though they've been together for like 20 years, by rule the state goes, well, we're just gonna find the closest relative and hand it to them and kind of stuff like that. And I've seen some things from my uncles. So yeah, the reason we're going to look at it and we talked about is the fact that specifically, like, I wouldn't lose anything if, like, heaven forbid something happens to them and we go through the will. It's not like I lose what I would get. It's I cannot claim it until I have a will, my own, defining who gets what.
Gotcha. So yeah, I was like, yeah, maybe we should start that process. Like, obviously, if I die, I want everything going to my kids and my wife. Like, it's a pretty easy, one or two. But I'm curious, like,
it's gonna be weird when I do the show with them three. I gotta be honest. I'm not sure they understand my comedy. I gotta be honest with you.
I also wrote in, like, Mike becomes the dad of the family. Like,
yeah. I smell sitcom.
Yeah, but it just got me thinking. Like, it's a thing I never really thought about, and like, I still have no real idea what I want to do. We've had a lot of death conversations on this podcast, so I figured,
Sadly, a little too much earlier.
Yeah. Well, let's bring some death conversation here. Like,
okay.
So I thought of some questions here, Mike. I just typed a couple down during the week, thinking about this will thing, and when I just kind of inspired me to think of something. But all right, if you were told the exact time, the cause, the day of your death, okay, but you could live financially free forever, like everything you want to do, you got, okay, would you volunteer to find out? Like,
okay, so just to confirm,
yep.
If I say do it, they're gonna give me date, time, whatever.
Yep.
And basically I can live my life.
And how. Yeah. Like, say you got some kind of cancer, blah, blah, blah. You're living to 71, and this is the day it's gonna happen. But in return, you are financially, like, no burden, go do what you want to do.
Easy answer, yes.
Okay.
Because it's gonna happen no matter if I say yes or no to it. So even if they're like, you got a week, man, I'm going to party like nothing ever before in that week to enjoy that last time on this planet. So that's a no-brainer for me.
Okay. See, I'm a little torn on this one because, like, I agree with the week sentiment. Like, if it was a small time frame, like, hey, you have like a month, you have a year. But then it's like, if you have like 40 years, the pressure of being like, okay, I gotta pack this all in. I have all the money in the world. I'm gonna die on this day. I think could start like altering who you are. Like, we're just gonna throw money at this and go on vacation. But all of a sudden, you become like, I think you become very different. Like, I'm just trying to do this for you, just trying to get this experience in. And like, I really do think that would probably change like your personality a little bit. Like, you would lose yourself a little bit. Like it's like those movies where people get everything, and then there's always a problem. There's always a problem. There's always, I don't know.
I could somewhat see what you're saying. In that, I feel like for myself answering that question, I feel I'm a level-headed enough because I'm a person who can enjoy a day where we literally do nothing and just like sit around, enjoy like a TV show sitting on the bed next to each other. I can enjoy, I'll drive to a town 2 hours away that I've never been before, and I just enjoy it for a day. And also maybe in my head, it's, I know my values. I don't feel like I'm the guy who's going to magically be like, I bought a yacht. Let's go out. And I'm just Mr. Moneybags. And you're all just hanging with me because I'm chucking away money, knowing that I'm going to be hit by a train in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I feel like I can still stay myself in that time.
All right. The second question is kind of the same question, but a little bit reversed. If you knew the date, the cause, and when it was going to happen for your spouse, okay, would you be able to tell, like, so you would be financially free or whatever, but would you be able to tell them? Like, would you act like it was okay, or would you, like, could you live knowing what was going to happen?
I guess it depends on because I could imagine like the last few months, like I wouldn't be able to. If Izzy was, she's gonna die of old age at 106. That's perfect. Yeah, I can still go about the life and whatever. I guess it all depends on what the answer is. If you get the answer and it's far off, or the death is she dies falling in her sleep or whatever, it's fine. If it's something like, oh, there's an accident, she fell or something like that, I'll be spending the entire time like, no, don't get on that ladder. No, we'll watch those stairs. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It'd be more worrying.
See,
it's probably something I wouldn't want, because it's like I can live with what my mortality is. I don't want to find out the mortality of my others.
I thought the same thing. I thought it was a great question, like a great idea for a movie. Like, if you knew your mortality, how would you live? But if you knew your spouse's or your loved one's mentality, how terrible that would be. Because you would spend your life trying to make her life great, and I feel like it would come around like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this for me? And you would like almost have to hide like normalcy, also like trying to do amazing things for them, because they would be like, why are you doing this for me? Unless you tell me.
I think it, like, if you did a movie, like, the interesting caveat is if you gave a clue or you tell them what like, there's a penalty that comes with it. Because then that is like the extra. Could you, like, you just force in the room, I don't care if you don't want to listen, your wife will die, blah, 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 blah. Oh, by the way, if you give her any sign, you tell her, then you're going to get punished.
I know.
That could be like an interesting take on it. Yeah, when it comes to myself, it's like, yeah, I'm open book. Tell me how the story ends. If it's my loved ones, I'm just going to go day by day.
Yeah. My next question is, like, how do you want your death, funeral, wake, celebration of life? How would you plan that if you could? Like, you're dead. How do you want that to go?
As crazy as this sounds, I think I'm the kind of person, I just want to die and like nobody's there, nobody reacts, nothing happens, because I would rather just like fading away into quiet versus being anything. Like, I'm not as much as we joke on the show, I'm not a huge celebration of me kind of guy, and I'm not a guy who wants to cause people to have pain or push on this kind of stuff. That's why I'm still like in the air. Like a long time ago, my dad bought plots for all his kids and all, so we had the option to, like, we have a plot in New Jersey if you wanted to get buried in, and I'm still not 1,000% sure. Well, I want to just like add to the ground and be there and be in our tombstone. I still question if I'm going to get cremated or not.
That's the whole thing that we're dealing with, like the will and like being cremated or being. I don't know what I want done with my body. I really don't. I don't. If I die before you, I'd kind of want to be like on your couch and like, animals crawling all over me, and we go feed giraffes on the weekends. Like, I don't know. But yeah, like
maybe I'll just do like my friends in India and chuck me in the river and call it a day.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what would your Native American tribe want to do for you, since you're so
well? If they see any facial hair, they'll cut it right off, because they don't. They're like, all right, that's the white man hair. We don't want to see that.
I still think I want some kind of. If I go, I don't want to go silently. I like I know you said you would like fade off and not. I would like to hear people's stories of me. Like I would like to hear like I went to my brother-in-law, no, my brother and my daughter-in-law, Jesus Christ, sister-in-law, her dad died and they had a celebration of life like 6 months after he died where like the grieving was kind of like over and they had it outside with like sandwiches and there was like a keg and people just like came up and like told stories and I really like it was so much better than like being in church and just putting me in the ground like I really liked that like I don't know, like Burlo, like tell a story about Scott, or like Alex, tell us a story. Like I like that. I like storytelling. I like people who are, maybe having a beer around me and like playing the music I liked and like making fun of me. Like that's kind of the way I want to go.
Yeah, I do know. Like my dad said, he's put in the will like he wants me to kind of lead his funeral, and he told me he's like, when it happens, be funny. Like he wants laughs and all that. And like he clearly forgot the one time he came to my stand-up act and all.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say he's screwed. Yeah,
but he's like, I don't want tears. I want like nothing but laughs. And he told me like that. You started to see me go. You better get some material ready. So.
Yeah, I think that's the Irish side. Like people love, like they used to have the wakes in the house and like drink for them and music and stuff like that. Like I wish we would be more like that in America. Or I honestly think if you die, I'm gonna let a giraffe like eat you.
I mean, that would be sweet and all. But knowing my luck, I would come back to life and all, and just like a giraffe is swallowing me whole, and that's how I die. Damn it, the guy's prediction was true.
All right. You die, you go in the casket, right? Say we take the casket approach or even the burning approach. What's one object like you would like to be buried with? Okay. Like a lot of times you go to wakes and funerals, there's like something that reminds people of them. What are you going in the hole with? I hope it's the Chewbacca poster behind you.
That would. Well, no, I'm not going to have a picture. It's just going to be that. And like people are coming in. They're like, I have know what's going on, but I'm going to sit down and listen to this.
I mean, please don't let that thing go to waste. Don't let it go in the ground. Send it to me because I want that picture.
Like it's easy. Like off the top of my head would be like a picture of like my wife with my doggies and stuff like that. I'm sure. I'm trying to think outside the box. I mean, probably I'm going to. If anything, I'm gonna request like don't put me in a suit, like put me in my NASCAR jacket, put a commander's cap on me, like just.
Oh, I'm definitely putting a Redskins cap on you. So you go to the grave.
Scott, no,
kind of offensive.
Scott, when I get up to the draft room to be the #1 draft pick, there's gonna be so many questions that happen if I'm wearing that.
This dude loved the Redskins and said we're Redskins forever.
He slapped somebody in the face because they said football team.
I'll let you think of it. I don't have an object per se, but I have this little, it sounds so stupid. I had this little keychain I got from driving my grandfather's car. Because that was my first car. It was like a 85 Chrysler Laser. It's a little keychain that says on the road again that my grandfather used to like sing before he'd like drive and still be like on the road again. And I have lost my keys 400 times. I'm never worried about losing my keys. I'm worried about losing that stupid little keychain. So I think I'd like to have that like on my, I don't know, somewhere tucked in there. Because it's like the only memory I have of my grandfather left. So that would be kind of cool. So
yeah, like I said, it's probably like clothing things, or maybe I would say like
Stone Cold
Callie's
Steve
collar.
Austin. Yeah. My Stone Cold Steve Austin denim jacket.
No, I gave that away. No, like maybe my loved ones give something of theirs and put it in the casket so I'm forever with them. And like I said, maybe any dogs I lost their collars go with me, and wife can put in some kind of trinket of hers.
All the listeners could raise your body up and bring you.
Yeah, I want my microphone to be buried with me, and you still Zoom call me every time.
See, I want them to lift you up and throw you into the Ganges River where you saw your first body.
That'd be sweet. That wasn't my first body. That was my grandmother. Remember that. And stop counting numbers, okay?
Here's a question. If you knew my time of death and date of death, would you tell me? If you knew when I was going, would you tell me, or kind of keep it? Would you try to figure out a way to not tell me?
I think I would hold on to it on the basis of, like I said, I sit back and say, you tell me when my day is, I'm not going to blink an eye and live my life. I don't want to be the one to choose whether you make decisions or do anything because of that. I mean, maybe silently guide you and all of like, you're like, oh, I got in a fight with the wife, or kids grew up and they don't call me, and all, maybe kind of, I mean, bro, you never know when your last minute's coming. Maybe give them a call, maybe talk it out with the wife, maybe go on vacation, stuff like that. I don't think I would specifically do it. I would probably just give you like a random call where you're kind of like, Burlo, we just talk on the podcast while you're calling me. Just want to say hi, buddy. Just want to tell you I love you and hi.
See, I thought about this one long and hard too, because, I'm giving you the question, but I figured I'd answer it myself. I think I would tell you. I don't know. I feel like I would not want that awkwardness. Like I don't think I could hide it like through the year. I don't think our relationship would be the same if I knew when you were going to die. Like I think I'd be phoning in like, hey buddy, let's talk about feeding cows. And I know you're going to die of like a heart attack the next day. Like I couldn't figure it. So I think I would tell you and try to like live it with you. Like be like, okay, we got this much time. Let's do this, let's do this. So that was my thought on that question.
Let me throw you an interesting question back at you. Let's say we both find out our dates, and let's say in our hypothetical, in one way, the other, their date is shorter than you expected.
Okay.
Would you negotiate giving up, say, 1 or 2 years of your life to give?
So negotiate what? Okay,
so let's say they come up to you and say, you're gone in 2080.
Okay.
Burlu is gone in 2030.
Okay. And
they say, if you want to give up some of your time, we'll add it to Burlu.
Oh yeah. I would give you a couple years. Absolutely. 100%. I actually heard a great idea for an invention the other day, and that we're going to give someone else another $1 million idea. Like say your phone was dying out in public and you need to like call or whatever. I wish, and how you could like bump phones together and like exchange pictures and whatnot. I wish there was a way to exchange battery to one. Like, oh, my phone's dying. I give you some battery, like send you some battery. So if I had 60 years and you had a couple years, I would 100% sacrifice like a couple years. I think I would sacrifice for like a lot of people, if it was broken down that black and white, like if I can give you a year, then you really meant something to me. Here, here's a year. Now, where it becomes hard is like, how many years can I?
Yeah, that whole math problem. Yeah. And can you imagine if like somebody knew it? It's like, oh, you bastard, you're only giving me 2 years, and like getting.
Yeah, like I would have
kind of pressure you.
Yeah. All right. My last question is, so say you go to the afterlife, which, you already secured your first draft.
Yeah.
And you realize that the afterlife is just reliving your best memory over and over again. So you're just always in you're in an eternal state of nirvana. Like that's what people say. If you're a good soul, you go to an amazing state. Like, what memory would that be? Like, what memory would that be? Like something that you would not be upset about living over and over and over and over again.
So many...
Episode 530 something with the whistling lady.
Like if it was, I'll get a real answer.
Like,
if it's podcast wise, I would say the D. Snyder interview. I would live that.
It's definitely.
I know I'm not. I'm just throwing out there as you
but
brought
like
it
something
up.
That's like, it doesn't even have to be like the memory itself, but like a day or like a feeling you had that you would love to like do over and over and over again.
As weird as it sounds, I would probably say like that first time I had all my dogs, all three of them, and they were together. Like there was no more of this one's fighting, this one's suppressed. When they, the first couple times to do it like that, the moment when I had all three of them, and I would like go on rides with them with the wife, and it didn't have to be a specific location, but just like having my babies by my side, driving, listening to music, talking to the wife. As simplistic as that sounds, that'd be like the greatest thing in all. Because I mean, like Callie's not around with us anymore. I miss having that third dog, and just when it was like, wow, this is working. As a guy who grew up loving dogs, not sure if he would ever have one, to have three all unique, all together, and we're going on a family trip, and I'm with my lovely wife, and we're doing stuff together. As simple as that, I wouldn't even need a destination, and all. If God's just going to play, I'm just driving, and in my head, I'm getting to somewhere, but I'm just driving, and I'm enjoying everybody in the car and loving life.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, because mine's on a similar note. There's this memory I have, after I had my son Shay. And it wasn't like, I'm not going to say like the stereotypical, like the moment he was born, blah, blah, blah.
Which was on my birthday, but you want a minute, continue.
Yeah. There was this moment, we got home from the hospital, and we underplanned for, like, we were supposed to bring clothes to the hospital, like for the baby, who even knew. We had like a bear outfit, and it was kind of like hot in October. And like he came home kind of in the bear outfit and whatever. And it was like kind of hot. And I remember my wife, like during the pregnancy, she didn't want to eat cold cuts because like the nitrate, whatever, like, they said like you're not supposed to eat cold cuts. And we got home, and we brought my son I drove home like 2 miles an hour from the hospital, drove him home, just nervous as hell, new parents, the first time we ever did this. And, took pictures of us going inside, and then like asked my wife, like, are you good? Are you hungry? And she's like, yes, I'm hungry. I'm like, what do you want? She's like, I want a quick check sub. And I'm like, got this. Are you okay? Like, are you okay with the baby? For like, we've never taken care of a baby in our life. Are you okay if we go down the quick check? If I go down the quick check for like 5 minutes, I'll be right back. Got the quick check subs, and it was like kind of nighttime, and we had the quick check subs, and I got this beer from Carton Brewery, the day before, like a couple weeks before the baby was born, which we had Augie Carton on from Carton. Shout out to Carton. But it was this beer that I loved so much. It was called like a rye harvest ale or something like that. And we'd gotten home from the hospital, and the baby was finally asleep, like in my wife's arms, and she got fed, and the World Series was on, like after a bunch of days in the hospital. And I think it was like the crappy White Sox, like World Series. But I was so like I have this one picture of me just like holding a beer, sitting there. Shay is sleeping, my wife's sleeping. And I'm like, all right. It was the start of like a new chapter. It was like it started like a magical chapter in my life. And I'm like, all right, here we go. So I could live that moment, like that, like relief feeling forever. Like, all right, here we go. Like that started thing. Like I would say it was the day I picked up my dog, but I picked him up at Newark Airport in a 17-day power outage. It was the worst experience ever. But
that poor dog. If you try to send on a plane right now, can you imagine you're like, oh, that flight was a part of the 10% we should have to shut down. Your dog is still in Ireland. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, but I think that would be my pick. The other thing that came to me was like a little bit more like kid version was like playing in bands with my friends, like that irresponsible, like no responsibilities, like sitting in my friend's basement, like playing music and like having a beer and like going to the sub shop down the street, grabbing lunch and playing more music, that kind of thing. I miss too, like that freedom.
Yeah, like if I'm thinking a kid, probably like the times my dad took me like Six Flags as a kid, like that was just that was like a dream world to me, like going there. And I forget Disney, but I mean, just like being like 8 and like, oh my God, look at how tall this roller coaster is and how fast it is, and laughing how we go on those free fall rides, and somebody's like, well, how long are we up there for? And you give them a big number to count to and see them have a heart attack when it's like 3 seconds later. It's just the innocence of it all. Yes, I can relive that.
So those are my death questions for today. I think that's it. I think we've done enough. We ranted a lot. We had a drummer from one of the old time bands, and then we got serious here. So and then Mike fed a giraffe. So Mike,
that's the most serious thing to remember.
Yes, Mike. Anything to promote before we get out of here?
Well, just to keep everything as low as humanly possible with depression, I will tell people, if you can, go to feedingamerica.org or give out to suicide hotlines. We just had the tragedy with the Cowboys player Marshawn Nealon there. It's so tragic. 24 years old. Guy literally played a game on Monday, scored a touchdown, and here it is Thursday, and we're talking about him leaving the earth and all. So I didn't try to be a downer. It just had kind of happened. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're going through anything, call 988 for the suicide hotline. If life is good and you want to give back to people who are kind of struggling right now, go to give.feedingamerica.org. There's a lot of people are waiting for that SNAP benefits, and they're hungry, and we're getting close to Thanksgiving. We got to do something, people.
I love it. So I will quickly promote. So a friend of the show is they bought a wrestling company. I know this is right up Mike and our good friend Harry's alley, but Starland Ballroom is back, and they are, for the first time they're in 8 years, they're having wrestling. Fight Factory Wrestling presents No Thanksgiving 4 championship matches, including crowning their very first champion. Danny Mop defends the championship versus NJ's own Joey Janela. AEW's Lady Frost is in action. Go get tickets at starlandballroom.com. So the good friends, go check out the event if you're into wrestling. If you're from Jersey, it's right there. But I want to thank Fergal Lawler for coming on the show. Other than that, guys, life is funny. Laugh at it. Keep the wind at your back.
And if you own a giraffe, I offer pet sitting at a very low price. And I will feed them all day.
And the giraffe is in Mike's will.